Oh, it's over
anyway. Welcome everybody. How you all doing? We are just about to get ready here with our Ice Golem event. So I just want to say thank you everyone for showing up. This is our second event of the Faction Games 2023. So welcome. Let me quickly introduce everybody. Well, I got a couple things I want to get set up here so we can run nice and smooth. But we've got Mr. MTGJedi here representing the Obi-Wan squad. The Odd Brew Jedi squad. We've got.
I like the Obi-Wan. Let's do it.
We've got Nub Raids here representing CCR, otherwise known as 2 Celts, 1 Roman. So welcome, Nub. And
hey.
very last we got Senda here from PCC, otherwise known as Paella Free Zone Chips. And so welcome back. So these guys are going to be competing in Ice Golem Stage 25. The rules for this event: no legendaries, epics and below. Stage 25, full auto run. They can click if they want to.
No legendaries? Wait, what?
I know, it's going to be a problem. And they each have one individual faction. So I know that MTGJedi is working with Sacred Order. Nub Raids is working with Sylvan faction. And Senda is working with the Lizardmen, if I'm not mistaken. So that's what we got working with. Okay, so first things first, guys. First things first. Everybody out there in the audience, can you hear us? Is the audio coming through nice and smooth for you guys? This is the important question to have answered first. Once I get an answer on that, I'm gonna get some music going for you guys. We got a little undertones of some vibes here, depending on what we're doing. And then I'll let the competitors kind of talk a little bit. So while I'm getting that response from the audience, you guys tell us a little bit about what this is like, what the struggles are for this, particularly this dungeon are for you guys. But do your content creator thing, be the professionals you are, and talk amongst yourselves for a little bit.
Yo, like, comment, subscribe, Nub Raids. Let's go, baby! Content creator.
Well, let me just start.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys.
I think that's a plus 1 minute penalty. Plus 1 penalty in Spain, we call that.
Sorry.
Nope, that's on me. That's on me. I set that up. That's on me. I know that. It's fine. It's fine. NCG, you were about to say something, please?
Yeah, well, so I just want to give some sympathy and empathy. My heart goes out to all of you struggling on Ice Golem because, oh boy, has it been a struggle for me. So, I was just really relating to a lot of the player base this week while I was testing, because depending on what champions you have, you might be in a really rough spot for Ice Golem, because it is not easy. It was like shout out to 2020 when I was like working on Ice Golem for the first time all over again. And, as content creators, we have a lot of knowledge of the situation. And just with the champions you have available, sometimes you just don't have a good version of the team. So you got to make it work with what you have. And that is like what we love about Raid, right? But also, the struggle is real. I get it, So if you're working on Ice Golem, I really hope that people will search this video and find it in the future to see what did we do to make these teams work with no legendaries and a very narrow group of champions. I'm pretty excited about that. Also, if anybody needs to know literally anything about Sacred Order, I'm the guy now, because we've gone through all of it. All of it.
Fair enough. Yeah, it is not easy what this stuff is, for sure. So that makes it's rough. It's rough to say the least. So how about you, Senda? You feeling any things to toss in on Ice Golem from your experience?
I just hope everyone has time, because that's not going to be as fast as Dragon. So I hope everyone has plenty of time for seeing long runs.
Accurate.
Now, we need to finish as quick as possible because the Steelers are playing right now. So, as an avid, lifelong Steelers fan, this is week 1. So, you know my dedication to this tournament because I am missing the first half of the game today to come in here and get this tournament done. So, my dedication, my commitment level is very high.
Fantastic. That's absolutely what I wanted to hear about that. Appreciate you being so forcefully committed to this. That's great. That cracks me up a little bit. All right, let me just I got 1 or 2 things to get set up here really quick for you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna turn it over to you. I'm gonna keep quiet. I'm gonna turn off my mic. Let you guys talk a little bit about this. Tell me some, like, the champions that you've been struggling with, or like some of the failed things that you tried and didn't work. Would be, I think, really interesting for people to hear as well.
Oh, I can go in with something that I tried and didn't work. So I was kind of looking for how to clear these waves. Like the waves on Ice Golem 25 are actually very tanky. So one of the things I tried was Kellen the Shrike. He's an epic in Sylvan Watchers. And he's, got a big old AoE, hits harder for every debuff on the target. I was like, man, this is great. He'll go in and help me blow up the waves. And I did a run without him and it was actually faster. And I was like, how did that even happen? How did that work? So yeah, I just had to cut him out. I think it's because he has a 4-turn cooldown on his AoE, which is, something that a lot of epics are going to have. I was like, man, that's just too long, right? Without a reset champ, without my Prince Kaimar in there doing good work and resetting everybody for the waves, it just takes so long for that AoE to come back. There's so many animations that it wasn't actually making it that much faster. So yeah, he was in the team. Like I thought he'd be certainly in the team at the start, and he got cut out, gone. Yeah,
I was testing a lot of things. Like, we don't even have time to talk about all the things that I was testing. But one of the really cool things that I was testing that was just super fun was one-shotting a single enemy with Inquisitor Shamail. And that was just really enjoyable to like set up that team, make sure he had enough buffs. We used a level 50 Lightsworn in that team to make sure we were under the player power limit because I stacked stats on him so high, and he was able to one-shot somebody in each wave at least once. But with Shamail, we do not know him as a fast champion, right? He has those very slow animations on counterattacks, but that was something that was just really enjoyable yesterday while I was streaming to set up that team and be able to one-shot somebody on Ice Golem 25. It was sweet, but definitely did not work out in terms of time. Okay. Senda, what about you? Did you test anybody, or were you pretty set on like one team the whole time?
I mean, I tried to rely pretty much not in the same champions I tried for Dragon, but essentially with the Lizardmen, since I have a bad lack of options, I had kind of to go on the same strategy. I don't have any good DPS. I don't have any good AoE DPS. I don't have any decreased defense. So it's like this is like the Dragon, but but slower, pretty much. I had to tweak some gear. Like there's champions that I thought they were going to be 100% on my team, and at the end I had to take out because they just don't work. They're not as fast as I wanted them. Mm-hmm. But essentially, less is more. Let's say that. Less is more. Less is faster.
You said that before. What does that mean?
Yeah, but you'll see now. You'll see now.
Oh.
Well, that's very interesting, guys. I know Ice Golems can be just a huge pain in the butt. Is everybody feeling confident of completing their runs? Is there a chance that we might have some, are we doing boom and bust teams? I know you'd mentioned that in our collab, Nub.
Yeah.
Go check it out. Trying to do that. I'm trying to take your initiative and do the content creator.
I like it.
Plug and play type thing. But yeah, I know you were talking about that. MTG, I know you said you've been, you're still struggling a little bit. Where are you guys at as far as consistency of the runs go? The boom or bust potential here.
Well, I don't want to jinx it, but I feel in a pretty good spot in terms of the consistency. I tried to start from consistency and work my way back up to speed. I wanted to make sure we were finishing the run. If you don't finish the run, then there's no possible way you can win, even if it's slow. So I kind of started with, what do I need in order to survive? And I had a pretty good plan for that stuck around the whole time, which I can talk about, when we get into the champions and stuff. But then I worked my way back up to speed. We just never got to speed. So we stuck with the consistency because the speed is just not there. So I'm hoping that we're good on the consistency front.
I believe in you.
Looks like it's going to be a fight between MTG and me in terms of very consistent but so slow.
Yeah, I can say.
I hope it's a contest. I hope we're close.
I think it could be. It could be for sure. I mean, I can tell you that my team is multiple levels of RNG. I think that I don't know if we're allowed to. Are we allowed to like click targets? I know if I click target onto the boss and we just like full YOLO it, then there's a really high fail chance. I tested that. But it would be the fastest, but it's very likely to fail. But if I just leave it run, can we do that, Deadwood?
Yeah, I've never had any
Oh, damn. Okay.
I've never had any issue with that. It's an auto run, right? So it needs to be full auto. But as far as what's allowed within full auto, absolutely. I know for things like Hydra, that can be a, it's one of the few ways you have a chance to actually help your squad out, but it's auto. So you gotta, you gotta be a little dexterous with it.
Wait, if this makes your time faster, I'm gonna vote against you. We shouldn't.
I gotta think about it now.
I vote on that.
I'm good either way. Like I probably
around. You can click. It's fine.
I'm probably just gonna leave it go anyway, because like I said, it's very high chance to fail if I do that. So I don't know if it's super worth it, or maybe for like the very end of the run. But we'll see. But yeah, my run is weird. There's a lot of elements of randomness. I think most of them probably won't result in a fail, though they can. But like there's a lot of randomness that really affects like the time, and there's huge variance. So I'm quite intrigued to see how the 3 runs are going to go. I actually don't know. This could be pretty decent, or it could be absolutely terrible, depending on how the dice rolls for me. So yeah.
It's not too late, Plarium, for you to change the way Ice Golem works to make it nicer. There's still time.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, hey, so I got one last question before we jump in the runs for you guys. Just kind of off the top of my head, I was just thinking this kind of might be an interesting question. Obviously, you guys are, we're all stuck with the factions that you've chosen, right? So you've got Lizardmen, Sacred Order, and the Sylvan faction. So my question is there a faction that you wish you had instead? And if so, which one? Obviously, you guys didn't spend time like studying this, right? Or anything like that. But after, I always find after deep diving into these things, all of a sudden I start to realize, it comes front of mind. What champions, what style of champions, what sort of things are really important for this. So maybe if you don't have a specific faction, you could like go, well, if a faction has XYZ, that's what I want for this kind of a run. But those kind of things always jump front of mind to me. So I was kind of curious what you guys, if you have any wishes or hopes in an alternate universe.
Yeah, I can jump in here because I definitely have a strong opinion about that. I was really on the fence with this first pick here. My teammates were really pushing for Sacred Order, and I was like only 51% for Sacred Order and 49% for Ogryn. And I think Ogryn would have been really strong. The problem is just like there's no poisoners. Oh no, there is.
There is.
They have Uragrim.
Uragrim.
So I think Ogryn would be really well suited, right? And a lot of that has to do with the affinity of the champions. They have some better multipliers than Sacred Order. Sacred Order is not good on terms of multipliers, and they have good affinity champions for stage 25. And then number 2, which we almost audibled. Instead of Odd One taking, what did he end up with? Dwarves, right? I was going to give him Sacred Order and take High Elves again and just be like the High Elves specialist in the raid community, since that's what I had last time. But I think High Elves would have been a really cool solution to the problem. It was a little bit risky, right, with Royal Guard, but I think that could have been a really cool solution as well.
It's actually funny that you mentioned Ogren, because that was picked up right before I had my faction pick, and that was what I was really hoping for. Because I think, like you said, yeah, I think they're insanely strong now. The epics, like with the stuff that's been added in for multiple dungeons. So I was really hoping I'd be able to grab that as second pick, but it was gone. So I was quite sad about that. Yeah, so it's funny that that was the one you were looking at as well, because yeah, I think they
added a ton of great champions in the last year or two to Ogren. Before, it used to be a clear, wonderful faction.
Yeah, right.
And they've gone a long way to improving Ogren and a lot of the other factions.
I mean, I think actually I was the one choosing picking Ogrens because I was supposed to do spiders in the first place and I didn't have Skrank. So at the end, I ended up changing it with YST because he had it and he was supposed to do spider.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really strong faction for that as well because you have AoE poisons, you have decreased defense, you have pretty good hitters, you have revivers, you have control AoE CC, so it's a very solid faction, and if all goes wrong, you always have some what's the name of this guy, the one that puts unkillable, Maneater. So you can always tune something somehow, so Maneater survives.
He's got crazy turn meter steal as well for like spider
it's
and
an
stuff like that.
insane ability, right? Like full turn meter steal. It also makes that 5-turn cooldown for his unkillable not 5 turns when you really think about it, right?
Yeah.
I used to use him in spiders a lot back in the when I first started, so I feel that. I'll have to be honest, I'm surprised that like nobody chose. There's a bunch of factions obviously that would have been fine, and you know we're only choosing about half of them, so some were going to get left by the wayside. But the one that would have intrigued me would have been Skinwalkers, without even diving in super deeply. But there's a lot of really interesting champions in there, I think. No, you disagree?
Hands out to you, like I'm you know, you and I super get along because Skinwalker's your favorite faction, right? Definitely mine. But like, who in Skinwalkers as an epic you're like super excited about?
I could tell you, it's got to be a Kemptum, right? It's why I didn't pick them, because I don't have Kemptum. But like, I wonder, like, could a Kemptum solo Ice Golem faster than any of us can do it? You know, like, genuinely. Maybe.
You know?
Maybe.
He's pretty good.
I think it's not. I mean, it's still too squishy. Like I tried soloing with Venom Mage, and yes, he's very powerful, but it's still too squishy for some AoE. It doesn't heal fast enough, or if you are not lucky, the boss one-shots you. So there's that fine line of maybe the less champions can I solo it, and it's faster, but I don't know. I found that there's some champions that are very squishy, even if you want to take them on their own. I think Akentum is one of these.
Yeah, I don't know that it necessarily would have been a great faction for Ice Golem specifically, which maybe is what I should be talking about here. But
for
it was
competition in general.
Yeah, just kind of. There's a few champions that really stand out to me. You know, I mean, you have champions like Basher, who I think is really interesting. Akemptum obviously is a huge one, but you also have champions like Taurus, who I think could be really interesting. You know, I don't know. It's pretty weak. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty weak. It's pretty weak on the list. I'm like looking at it now, and I'm like, in my head, it was a lot more options than what I'm seeing actually. But you know, I felt like there's some possibilities, right? You know, fan in there.
If somebody's gonna take it, I think we need to test that new chick Frenzy.
Yeah.
It's burn and activate. Yeah.
That could be really interesting. Yeah, for sure. So anyway, there's just been so many new champions added. I was just kind of interested to see where you guys fell on that. But look, we've been vamping long enough. We've been delaying long enough. Let's get into the runs. Now, I've had a request, I think because he's feeling a little insecure about his result here.
I volunteer for tribute.
So I think we're going to let MTGJedi go first on this one. And then after that, we'll go to somebody else. I don't really care. I'll let you guys kind of choose. I don't know who's going to win this thing, which I think is what makes this one so fun and interesting. So maybe
I don't think any of us know.
I think what we'll do is we'll go with MTG, then we'll go to Senda, and then we'll go to Nub, because Nub apparently has the most variance in his run results. So we'll leave him for end. So we'll have a nice exciting surprise at the end, depending on how it goes. So, you ready, buddy?
I mean, I can't possibly be more ready.
Okay, fair enough.
We're adding new champions to the faction real quick.
Not yet, but all right. Well, let's go ahead. Let's jump in. We're gonna switch over and let you do your run. All right, we see we got
so
big MTG there. Senda between the two of us again.
Here.
Yeah, I know. It's a very nice
party.
room. I don't know how much you guys know this, but he has a really nice room.
So if you just like take a look, like you can tell like there's a lot of champions who were in consideration here. But one of the RNG things that somebody in Twitch chat actually recommended was just trying Deacon in stun. I really wanted to run him in a couple of different sets, but he was always in the team because he's really the only option for decreased defense. He's definitely the wrong affinity, but without him, it's just you don't have another option really that I found to speed up your team, to control the waves a bit, and that decreased defense is obviously super crucial in getting the fastest run possible. So he's champion number 1. Most people suggested Phoenix for the team, but trying to get a damage dealer that is off affinity in your team,
really hard.
It's so hard. So we did test that, but the damage dealer that we ended up going with was actually Talia. And I hate this champion. Let me just tell you right now, I hate this champion. I've used her on, like early game free-to-play accounts and just always been disappointed. But in this case, for this faction, she was the best damage dealer. Her AoE here, with the increased attack and increased crit rate, she's able to be built with less stats and stack your stats in other areas. And I was able to get her to a reasonable stat level, but not insane. I don't have a blessing for her. So like she has such a low attack, like 1343, like getting almost 5,500 attack was challenging. But we have the crit damage, but the attack is just really not low. Savage and Cruel and the Refresh Amulet, there's another level of RNG to proc there. I ended up with the Helm Smasher Mastery so that we could try to ignore some defense. We have some counter attacks, kind of nuker masteries going on here. Let me flip back to Deacon as well and just put his total stats on there. He's only at 224, but he has, a little bit of crit rate just because we could.
Get
accuracy,
perfect amount of 99%. Just like nailed that one. Yeah.
But that wasn't intentional. That was just how whatever was with the gear to put some survivability on him and keep me under the player power limit, because that was a real barrier. I could have really stacked more stats if we were above 300,000 power. And I do have the Blood Shield accessory as well, just to try to get a little bit of a shield to help him survive, because he's going to get targeted a lot. I even put Fearsome Presence on him so that we can get more stuns.
Stun Master, I love it.
Yeah. And that's like one of the things that's going to help me is if we can get a bunch of stuns. I've had runs where I got 0 stuns on the waves. So there's a lot of RNG with Deacon in the stun set.
Yeah, one of the great things about those sets that drop those debuffs is you don't have to strong hit, you can weak hit, you don't have to crit, and they can still land. So even on the most useless of champions, it can still be a very effective way of dealing with what you're going through as far as waves go.
Yeah. I am too close to the player power limit to switch the gear to the one with the blessing. So I'm hoping that doesn't affect the time too much. Because I did testing with Deacon and Cursed. I did testing with him in other sets as well. But so we ended up with the one in stun. Mordecai proved to be super, super important for survivability because he's in Guardian, and also for the speed that I'm able to get on the run, because his AoE HP burn actually really helpful. And believe it or not, this ability here of decreasing the turn meter is going to help my survival as well, because then they're taking less turns. And then Phantom Touch on him just for a little bit of extra. I didn't feel like there was really a good blessing for him, so I ended up going Phantom Touch. But pretty defensive here. You know, we wanted to stack speed and defensive stats so he can cycle through all of those abilities as quickly as possible and then heal back up as well. Masteries, he does have War Master, so there's a little bit of funny business on the boss, but usually it's fine and no big deal.
Cool.
Relic Keeper was tested, but he was too slow. And then Armiger was tested, definitely not with Armiger. And then is the last one that I need to mention.
Did you ask Cold Brew for advice as far as using Armiger and getting the best out of him, or did you just
didn't? No,
you're in his team.
Oh,
just drop the ball there.
I know. So from the get-go, Aethar was the plan for the boss, and he is not well suited for survival with these base stats. So we did the best that we could. Like, a base of 826 defense is not your idea of the person you want to solo the Ice Golem. So oh, I know, and then we have one more champion after this as well. But the goal here is just how fast can we make him while being survivable, and then keeping him in regen as well. I ended up needing the perception set to get the rest of the accuracy needed, because I wanted to keep Deacon's aura for the boss.
I'm really glad you're bringing out Aethar, by the way. I absolutely love this champion. I think he gets slept on all the time. Hits incredibly hard, actually, which is really interesting. I've used him a few times in like clan boss teams, and like he slaps if you let him. So it's really great that you're bringing him in here.
Now, we couldn't build him for damage, not even close. They ended up keeping him in Unshakable, and that's about my level of confidence with that mastery. So don't take that as a need here, but it's really helpful if he doesn't get debuffed. He does not, just like flipping back to the total stats again, he does not have enough resistance to resist consistently, but he has enough to resist sometime or most of the time. And so I ended up keeping that. Also, I didn't want too many people with War Master, so putting that in there was kind of helpful. This is basically the build that I've had on him the whole time, because he was most of the time surviving. So obviously he's going to die 50 times in my run. And then always in the team has been my Godseeker Aniri. Okay, always. She was always the first choice. I did end up buffing her gear a little bit, but we're still using 2 rare pieces and a 5-star chest here. Number one, to keep us under the player power limit, but also to try to get those survival stats. Because if she dies, the run fails, period, end of story. So she can't die. As long as she's alive, then the run is good and has been consistent. And hopefully with these stats here, we're not going to be at risk.
That's actually a pretty great cheat code right there. Once you get to the boss, you don't have to worry as much about the big wipe hits.
Yeah.
If she can survive it, she'll bring people back. That's nice. Smart.
Yeah, but like I had to scale down the damage on the boss to make sure she didn't get one hit either, you know? I'm right at the player power limit, so I never ended up filling in the other masteries. This is just the mastery build that I have been using the whole time, and since I'm so close to the player power limit, I didn't just test it to reset it to make sure that I kept what the masteries were that were working. But we have timely intervention here to help with the to help with the run and the revives as well.
The inevitable deaths.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's impossible. And in all honesty, I like when people die.
Before you go in, let's go check, make sure your settings are all set. We've got you on 60 frames per second. We work on an even playing field here, people. Even playing field. There you go.
I thought that I was testing on 60 the whole time, and yesterday I found out I was testing on unlimited. And
Oh no.
it's such a beating.
It adds like 30, 45 seconds.
Yeah.
It added a full minute or more to the run.
Oh wow.
Let's turn off the camera shake too. If we can.
Disable camera shake is checked.
I can't. It was behind your shoulder. I couldn't read it. Thank you. Perfect.
Oh, okay. You're
smarter than me.
With the check mark.
Perfect. I kind of realized as soon as I said that, I was like, I think maybe he's doing it right. What's your player power at?
What is my player power? 22 million?
No, for the team. For the team.
Yeah. So you may have seen the team that I was testing right before this come on screen. I re-geared Relic Keeper real quick. That is not the team. This was the team, and we're right at 290. Oh yeah. I was pushing and glyphing to get as close to it as possible. That's why you heard me mention the player power thing multiple times, because like it's that close. So yeah. Are we ready for the run then?
Yeah, let's do it. Dude, by the way, somebody in chat just said the Inevitable Death, Jill Castile. Inevitable Deaths is a good band name, and I have to agree. I think it's a fantastic band name. That's great.
Yeah. My goal is to get Talia to die, actually, because when Godseeker revives, she resets her AoE. So if she dies at the right time and Godseeker revives, it actually speeds up the run. So that is a calculated part of the team as well.
I love it. All right, let's do it.
I hope you got your coffee and you're settled and ready to wait. Ready, set, wait, Shadow Legends. Fantastic.
We'll see how this first run goes, guys. And in between runs, we'll do some giveaways here for you guys. We're giving away 400 gems to 5 lucky winners again. Go ahead, narrate. Let us know what's happening here.
Okay, so we got 1 stun from Deacon, which is about average. And then what my thought process and my goal here is, once one champion gets low enough that they're going to die from taking their turn, then I want to be clicking somebody else, because otherwise they'll just kill him and that will waste all of my effort with the HP burn and the poisons. So we're doing a little bit of clicking here, but you have to be careful. I mean, if this is what you're going for, you have to be careful on the timing of who you're targeting. It doesn't actually speed it up that much. So if this is the type of team you're trying to build, then, don't worry about clicking. This is just for the competition, obviously.
I was going to say, if this is the type of team you're trying to build, start using other factions. I feel like.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah,
but you're getting through this pretty efficient. I mean, I know it's like a minute, whatever, but you're getting through it.
Now, Talia doing her AoE there is really bad for the run. As close to a minute as we can get, that's the best RNG that I've been able to get. So really, Deacon there and Talia both used their AoEs at the last second. So that was not ideal, but 2 stuns here. That's ideal. That's ideal. 2 stuns.
Little details. Oh boy.
Yeah, the Guardian set, guys. If you're not farming Guardian, you're holding your account back, because it's been so crucial for so many things, and importantly for this team.
Another stun again.
This second wave is really nasty, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
Those Seekers are brutal, and those rock thrower guys are. Oh, they hit.
I know, surprisingly strong damage from these rares.
Right? So frustrating.
Now, Godseeker decreasing the duration of the debuff, or decreasing the duration of the buffs, has really been really awesome as well. Godseeker's passive revive has been great. Obviously, that saves some revives. So that's been helpful as well. We got another stun here on the Drake, which is great. Talia continuing to die repeatedly is pretty normal. It depends on how many stuns, you know, how long she's going to survive. You got to get the stuns at the right time, too. Like, they need to actually skip a turn. But the fastest with unlimited frames, I was able to get around 215, 230 on getting through the first 2 waves. And then when we switched, it was just immediately evident of the time increase here. So,
All right, 3 minutes 30 seconds to the boss. Nice and quick styled run. Excellent. Classic Ice Golem.
I would say this is people's definition of speed in terms of Ice Golem, you know.
Yeah, we should really nickname this team the Flash. I feel like that's the more appropriate
for sure.
nomenclature. I mean, the big thing is though, it is consistent. Like you're definitely getting through it. You're, you know, while even when you're in trouble, you're not really in danger of dying. At least not so far. I'm very interested to see once with the boss here, especially if you start taking the ads down. Because you do have hard hitters on your team.
Died on the waves, so that'll be cool if that happens today. But the boss, that's another story. You know, you have to still be careful on the boss. AFR did get a bunch of poisons on him to start, so that's really good, and a second time again, so that's really going to help our time here. That's a very good RNG there, because his poisons, well.
Ooh.
Oh. Well,
it's getting spicy.
It'd be a good example of what War Master can do to the team.
Yeah.
Oh, early wipe. Well, 4 minutes and 24 seconds in. I don't know if I call it early, but we got first fight is a wipe. Guys, this one is a game of attrition right here. This competition. I don't even know how much it is about speed. It's about finishing is going to be the real challenge here. All right, first heat, first run attempted. That's rough. It's a rough start, but you know, we got 2 more attempts. That's the beauty of this. So, hey.
All right, let's go again.
All right.
I mean,
I've tested this game so many times, and the number of times it's wiped, it's very low. Very low.
If the Ice Golem wipes between all of us, he wipes us 5 times out of the 9 runs. I think Ice Golem wins the competition.
I think Ice Golem wins in that case. That's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Wow. That happened so quick. I literally looked away for a moment. I was like seeing what song was playing on the music, and then I looked back and you were dead. I was like, what happened? Rough.
Yeah, I had some runs as well that if activates the boss and the ads are alive, it hits you by a lot, even if you are different affinity, like strong affinity against him. It hits you, like it one-shots you a lot of champions.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish I could have gotten more HP on Godseeker and still kept her in those kind of stats. I really would have liked, you know, closer to 70k HP, but I could not make that work. So
it still kills you. I can tell you that from my test.
70k HP.
Yeah, even more than 80k. I think it does like over 100,000 damage or something.
Well,
if 2 ads are alive.
It's ignoring defense, right? So like that's the big thing. So you know, it almost doesn't. You know how your defense is so survivably. It's so important getting through everything. But then once you get to the boss, it like doesn't even matter for those big hits. So that's dicey.
Let's just lock in a run where we finish the run. Let's do that. Let's go Sacred Order.
Let's get a safety finish, please.
Yes. Okay. 3 stuns is very good.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
man.
You're saying that like even if it goes like the worst way possible on the waves, like you get no stunts, everything goes wrong, you'll still make it through the waves just fine. It's the boss that's dangerous.
With this, like in testing, I haven't died on the waves. If it goes very poorly, then it goes really slow because everybody dies and Godseeker is trying to revive and keep up. So the more stuns, obviously that's gonna negate that. But with this version and Deacon in the stun, it kept that the most reliable possible. Because at minimum you should be getting 1 stun. But obviously sometimes you won't.
Yeah, that makes sense. One really nice thing your team's got going on, I don't think has been mentioned yet, is the Godseeker with your A2 reduces their buff duration, and those Seekers putting out increased defense, oh my gosh, that slows you down so much. It makes the wave so tanky.
Really does.
Yeah,
really
I'm only used to doing it with Seer, or Poison Explosion, and it's not affected by that. But suddenly when you're trying to do this, epics only with these factions, you're like, oh, okay, well, these champions are really tanky, and this Seeker just gave them increased defense. How am I supposed to do this fast? What the heck?
Yeah. And actually, Seeker taking the extra turns, if you're trying to kill the waves with HP burn and poisons, them taking extra turns is legit, because then they get through those those debuffs.
Double damage in a way, right?
Yeah.
Pretty solid.
All right, so I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna target some minions just to be safe.
I don't understand. Why would you want to do that? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Now, one of the things that I found actually, if you're doing this kind of targeting for runs, is that with HP burn, splitting up the damage is nice so that you kill them at the same time. It can be risky to do that, don't get me wrong, because then you don't actually kill one, but with the HP burn ticks, it's gonna give you a good amount of damage there.
Yeah, that's definitely, I've noticed that going on in the hard levels of Ice Golem, especially, where it's like using HP burn is so much more important. Having the ads around is phenomenal. Darth Microtransaction dropping in with the super chat. Hey buddy, good to see you. Joining the efforts here. You came at the perfect event. This is the struggle bus event. We're just trying to survive here on Ice Golem. MTG is our first sacrifice, I think is a better phrase for it.
Perfect wording. Yeah, perfect wording.
Nice today, Golem.
Well, guys, in addition to all of our phenomenal content creators that are participating in this, we also have Darth Micro in the chat right now. Definitely should go follow him if you guys play games like Diablo 4 especially. He's like one of the top content creators for that right now. Definitely worth giving a subscription to. But he also has his main channel where he does I think kind of random games at this point, some raid stuff occasionally. I see him streaming all sorts of different games, so it's a lot of fun. And he's always a good chat and a good person, so definitely worth your time and effort. And big thanks for him stopping by. Appreciate that.
One of the things here I wanted to mention with this team too, Deadwood, is I tried turning off Godseeker's Revive so Talia would just stay dead, and then a lot of times Aethar would die, and so that made it unreliable. And another thing that I found out in the process of doing this run is that Godseeker's Revive, and I guess reviving in general, is very interesting in this game. I didn't know that because we tested Aethel. Okay, we definitely tested Aethel, and even if she's in the lead, she'll get revived last because that revive is going to target and go in terms of rarity. Yes, I had no idea.
I can't remember what I was doing where I ended up discovering that, but I think because I think on my free-to-play account I was playing with Elva, and I think it's the same thing where they target the rarer champion, the highest rarity champion first. I kept reviving Rhonda, and I wanted to revive Jareg or something like that, and wouldn't do it. I think it might have been actually, I think it was in Sand Devil when I was doing a lot of testing with that originally. I was figuring that out with Godseeker. So yeah, it's a very interesting kind of thing where she prioritizes the rarity and then will prioritize the placement in the team. But hey, look, it looks like you're gonna come out on top here.
Hey, don't say that. Do not say that.
You're past the counterattack
right here, right before the boss dies. So do not say that. But yeah, so this is the longer side of the frame rate limit.
Before you
in 639.
Before you click anything, can you take a screenshot of that? Thank you so much. We're gonna be doing that after every one of these runs, guys, so we make sure we have a record of it for the website. Be ideal. Hey, 639, you got it in. You've definitely qualified to get points from this event, so it's a good starting spot for sure.
Is it though?
It's a starting spot.
It survived.
I mean, I locked it in. I mean, I'm grateful for that, but I'm not gonna claim that this is fast, not by any means. So,
hey, but here's the thing: you put the pressure on Nub and Senda. They have to complete all their runs now, at least one run themselves. True. Otherwise, they're going to give you
absolutely
different
right.
medal. There you go.
Yeah, and taking a look at the damage, like Mordecai, Aethar, and Talia are pretty similar in terms of damage, which I always found interesting.
That is very.
You ready for run number 3?
Before we jump into that, why don't we go ahead and get a giveaway going for everybody, so they have something to pay attention to during this nice and slow event that we have here. So guys, everybody in the chat, if you'd like to participate in this giveaway, we're going to be giving away 400 gems to 5 lucky winners throughout the stream. Basically, we're going to do it in between each of these competitors going, but because normally we try to start off with one, I forgot to do that, so we'll do one right now. What you're going to want to do as soon as I say go, you're going to want to make sure first off that you're subscribed. It's the only way you can chat in here. And then when you are in chat, go ahead and type in !faction to be eligible to win, and then we'll give away some gems to somebody. So I'm going to go ahead and start that giveaway. So guys, go ahead and type in !faction to make yourself eligible to win. That's it. That's all we got. MTG, take us off. In 2 minutes, we'll have results for people.
All right. So with the frame rate limit, our goal is under 6 minutes. Just to be clear about the situation. With the frame rate limit, I'm not going to say it was good, but it was around 5 minutes with the frame rate limit. So, and you can see like Talia just taking maybe 25% of their health with the damage stacked on her as is. And that's just not good enough. That's just not good enough in order to get through the waves in a timely manner. So, keeping that in mind for Sacred Order, do not recommend for your personal accounts.
This is very, I just think I find this to be a very fascinating style run. I love the fact that you ended up going with Godseeker. I feel like that's actually a valid approach, especially with this dungeon specifically, regardless of, whether you limit yourself to one faction or not. I do think Godseeker does have a lot of viability, specifically with her passive revive. It can be really, really effective as far as, dealing with the boss itself. That could be a really interesting way to go. Did you ever try using somebody like Cardiel as like an AoE reviver as well?
I spent so much time testing it, but I never got to. You talking about Cardinal?
Yes, that's a Cardiel. Yeah, Cardinal.
Cardinal. Yeah, I thought about testing it, but I didn't think that there was a combination of champions that would work, because I would be getting no healing if I took Godseeker out. Like, she's the healer, right?
Yeah.
I would be having really no healing from the team, but I thought maybe there was a combination that could like hit with the AoEs, then die, then Cardinal revives everybody, and then they hit again. But I didn't think that would survive wave 2. I think that might help me get through wave 1, but I didn't think that would help me get through wave 2.
Yeah.
Also, no stuns from Deacon here, I don't think. So we'll see what happens with this run.
Oh man, seems like you're doing a little bit faster than before, though.
I mean, I'm down for that. Maybe Deacon is slowing the run down because he's taking too many turns, but I don't know.
His animations are kind of fast. Like, that's something you start thinking about in this as well. Like, if you've got the option to, of course, it's like, ooh, how fast are their animations? It adds up. Seconds every time.
And see, this is what I'm saying with the Deacon getting no stuns, is that then more people start dying because they're taking too many turns. So one of the combinations I tested was Romero and Juliana, and I actually loved that.
Really
it was
good for this.
Not that much slower than this. It was not that much slower than this.
I hadn't thought about Juliana.
Don't know, Romero's got multipliers.
Yeah, he hits hard.
His A4, like, that's legit. But then he's taking turns to, like, defend you, and,
It's really funny. I only remember him from when I very first started playing this game, and he was like one of my few healers, and I used him in Ice Golem specifically. I was like, oh, okay, this guy's pretty decent. He's not decent. He's not good, guys. He's not good.
He's been buffed since then. He's not
They got rework.
I mean, has he really?
Yeah.
Well, hey guys, if Juliana had AoEs instead of all single target stuff, that would have been the strategy.
Yeah, she hits super hard, but so much RNG in her kit's very hard. Hey guys, just so you know, we got those entries in. 400 gems are going to... Oh wait, no, close entries. Pick a winner. That's what I want to do. Pick a winner. Abraxas. Abraxas, congratulations. You've won 400 gems. I need your UM number. You type it in the chat. That's actually really, that works really nicely. You can just type it in the chat. But then also make sure to leave it as a comment in the video. The last competition Dragon, I had one person that didn't end up giving me their UM number. So, you know, don't want to miss out when you have these options. So type it in the chat. Hopefully I'll see it. Usually pops up here, but definitely type it as a comment so I can find it later. Now back to the run.
AFR.
All right, you got the minions down. Now it's about surviving this big hit.
I had a couple runs with Phoenix where he blocked revive on both minions, but
that's nice.
It's just there's so many weak hits to get through the waves that I didn't even think it was possible, even with good RNG, to get a fast run with him.
They say he's the best looking champion in the game, though, so he's got that going.
Wow, Nub.
Is that what they say?
That's what Nub says. That's like me saying Jedis are the most attractive fantasy character in the world.
There we go. I'm down for it.
And thankfully, I have someone here that will back me up on that. So at least I got numbers.
Now, this is what I wanted to happen, was Godseeker and Aethar being the only ones alive, and I actually never got that to work out. So I'm interested to see what happens here with this run. If we survive or die or it's faster, I don't know, because it's never happened before. So just as an FYI.
Almost. I don't think he beat the 6-minute mark. They came close.
Oh
no!
Are we good? Oh, it's a 2-1
no.
Ice Golem. Oh my! We're all gonna lose the Ice Golem, guys.
I should target the minions. I should target the minions, and then I didn't do it. I was just like, I locked in a run. Let's try to make a faster one, and it ended up being the wrong decision. So we locked in one run. That's the best I could do. So
that might be all you need to win the whole thing.
I would be absolutely shocked if the both of you couldn't do faster than my, what was it, 6:39. I would be shocked if you had slower runs than that.
Well, hopefully we'll be seeing some shocking.
Have the lizards, we'll see.
Is it wrong that I want it to be shocking? Oops, sorry guys. That I want some surprises going on. Just me.
I'm sure people are surprised. I don't know if that's a good thing, but
well, good job, buddy. Good effort. We got it down. You got one successful run in. That's really all you needed to do. You made the quota. You did the work. So congratulations here.
So it's so disheartening though, because 2 out of the 3 runs we did not finish the run, and so many I've never failed so much.
All right, that's part of the joy of this, is we don't know exactly how it's going to go, so that works really nicely. So Senda, how prepared are you for this?
I am ready to go.
Okay, great. We're gonna go ahead and do one more giveaway real quick before we get started on yours. So guys, remember, go ahead and type !faction in the chat to make yourself eligible. It is open right now. If you would like to do that, make sure you're subscribed. Otherwise you can't, type, period. So go ahead and do that right now. We'll be in good shape. So are you feeling more confident, less confident, Senda? You feeling, how are you feeling after that?
It's also heavy RNG. I have the odds that I have more poisoners in that sense and less weak affinity. That's what I was saying before, that less is more. You'll see it now, it all will make sense. But yeah, I mean, RNG, especially placing stun sets, is basically to stop the animations of the enemies so you get faster. In my strategy, at least, I didn't have problems with anyone dying or anything, so we'll see. It's RNG. It's the same. Like if you touch too much the golem, we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited to see. Nub, are you feeling a little bit more anxious after watching, your worst scenario happen in front of your eyes?
I mean, I can tell you that the 2 test runs I did before the stream started, I failed both of those as well. So we'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, right.
Ooh, I'm excited. I don't know about anybody else. I am excited by this, guys. Got about 30 seconds here to finish this giveaway. It's be exciting. Guys, if you haven't, by the way, go ahead and hit the like button on the video. If you're here, if you're spending time, go ahead and let others know it so that we can get this bad boy out, get more folks in the chat. Always fun to have a big group, but we got a good fair amount of you guys. I think well over 600 of you folks watching today, which is great. Very excited by that. Yeah, MTG, you got any final thoughts about your team, your run, your approach to this? Any things that you wish maybe you'd done differently or tried, but it seemed like you tried a few things already.
I kind of wish I turned off Talia's A2 on the boss. But then I think we're have a slower time than that, so I think it's worth the risk. But yeah, I guess I could have. I just wanted to, I wanted to run the same team for all of the runs, obviously. But yeah, just like a note for people who are watching, if you have a heavy damage dealer to help you get through the waves, like turning off that damage on the boss is a very good idea for consistency.
There you go. You heard it here first. A little nugget of information and advice there. Okay, we got a winner here. We're gonna pick it out right now. Femoral in the chat. Congratulations, you just won 400 gems. How awesome is that? Go ahead and leave your number in the comment right now with your number. That'll help me get those gems to you, and also make sure to leave it as a comment on the video itself. That way I won't miss out getting you your reward. All right, Senda, you set? You ready to go?
Yep.
All right, let's do this.
I put the lizard light just in case.
I was gonna say, man, it's gone green.
Got the lizard light.
I put the lizard light.
That makes me happy. That makes me super happy. That's very well done.
Okay, so I'm gonna show you for the settings: 60 FPS, ultra, and then this thing here, camera shake. There. Is it all correct?
60 feet. Yep, looks good to me.
60 ultra, and then the disabled shooting.
Beautiful. Great.
All right. So I did try just for the lulz to play it with Soros. Problem is the Soros is bad affinity, and he dies very, very fast. So I did try it. I did manage to complete it, but it makes it like about a minute and a half slower. And it's been a very thin line of the less champions I have, the less turns I take, and the faster the enemies die. So I started with 5 champions, and I've been taking champions out to see how many champions I can play it with efficiently. And I got to 3 champions. I can put 2 foods. I've been putting these 2 on, and it adds a bit of time, but like 20-30 seconds. But we're all about speed here. So I have this team here called Why Not 3, and that is the team I'm gonna use.
Oh man!
The idea here is Venomage can do whatever he wants. He's amazing. He places poisons. He activates poisons. Decrease defense. Single target. Decrease attack, which goes very good against the boss. Then Basilisk. He's in a stun set, so he's gonna go basically AOE in both waves. And then the boss, it's also nice to stop the minions to put decreased defense and heal reduction. So he's an on stun set. The stats is more on the offensive side, but he has this kind of passive that he is allowed to. He revives once every couple of turns. Because I tried with Broadmo as a reviver, but it slows the run because he doesn't contribute with anything to the team apart from if anything goes wrong. And then Aox the same, he can do whatever he wants. He also brings poisons on the A1. The problem is that the percentage of placing it is not great, but he has a heal that is pretty powerful, and then the decreased crit rate and decreased attack against the boss and the minion. I've had runs where the boss one-shots me, but it's rare. I mean, I'd say I have 85% chance of everything going smoothly. In terms of gear, I'll show you the stats and so on. So we have Aox. It's a single target, so I just needed to put more poisons, so Venomage can activate them faster. As you see, the stats are nothing super crazy. 67, 3.5 to 75, and then the crit and everything I don't really care much. And the accuracy 300. There's no need to go 400, 500 because it's stage 25. Then we go Basilisk, stun set, the same. Is try to get a bit of damage out of him, but because I don't have AoE decreased defense, the damage is not going to be great.
That perfect 100% crit rate, my favorite.
Yeah.
Love it.
So his role is basically stun as much as you can, make the enemies lose as many turns as possible. And then Venomage, I tried with lower stats and I just kind of kept changing pieces to make it stronger. I'm able to duo like Aox and Venomage, they're able, but it's not the fastest just because of the animations of the minions. But I can duo it. Alone, I tried it to solo it and it doesn't quite succeed. And then, in terms of masteries, pretty similar to what I had with the Golem, with the Dragon. This one to get extra turns. So the more turns, the faster I go. The faster I go, the more poisons activates. Then on Venomage, War Master, and on Basilisk, the control, because I need as many stuns as possible.
I'm surprised you. So I love the 3-person idea. I love the Basilisk, wave suppression thing. I'm surprised you're not including Saurus as well for the waves with another stun set or something like that.
I did, but he's very weak. Like, he's an uncommon. His stats are very, very weak, and he's bad affinity. It works, but he dies in wave 1 or wave 2. He ends up dying. That's how it is. Like, stun set, but that thing has 12,000k HP, 600 defense. So.
Yeah, super tanky.
Super tanky.
Right. That makes sense.
So that's the thing. Let's go start. Let's see how it goes.
Here we go. Oh man.
That's basically the strategy. That the more stuns here, they're very annoying. These two rares here, these two kind of goats, because they put counterattack, and counterattack means more turns, and more turns mean more time. So I'm not clicking much. Maybe I can kind of focus on these two, but I can do it full auto and it doesn't change. Maybe 10 seconds up, 10 seconds down. He's being lucky here with the stuns.
I was going to say MTG is super jealous right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Landing every stun is landing for him.
Like, what is that like?
Doing stuns
for that RNG.
But it's basically AoEs and poisons and poisons and poisons, and if it activates on the I'm perfect. If it doesn't activate, not a big deal. And here what you were saying, that both Seekers, they put increased defense and it slows it a bit, but the Lizards is not about hits, it's about poisons, so it doesn't alter much. And if they take extra turns, it's extra turns that the poisons proc, so even faster for me. See, the damage is not great, 10k, 12k, but it's about a minute per wave, and then the boss can be a bit more depending on RNG. See, he died now, Basilisk, and he revives.
One of the things I found with Venomage is so great is not only does he get the poisons out, obviously, but that passive damage reduction, heal reduction is really nice. And when you pair that with the AoE decreased attack from Aox, it's a really nice combination. And no decreased crit rate too. So they're not critting you, their attacks halved, and you have some natural damage reduction as well. So like, you don't really have to worry about surviving these waves at all.
on Basilisk, I also have the mastery that allows me to put leech on when he places stun. The percentage is very slow, but it helps a bit when AoEing, especially if I have a couple of leech.
Yeah, I can see that.
Here, I got the leech on. So it helps a bit, but you can see that Aox heals by 25, 26k, so it's pretty solid. That's the boss. I tried both things. I tried targeting the minions. I tried targeting the boss. Essentially, the main source of damage is the A2 of Venomage, because he places 2 poisons every 3 turns, something like that.
Now, when we get here to the boss, are you hoping for death, or are you?
It happened, but normally it's because I target the boss. If I target the boss,
I'm sorry, I wasn't being specific. I meant for Basilisk. Are you hoping that he dies, or do you want him to stay alive?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter much.
Okay,
maybe it adds. I mean, if he is alive, he will be maybe putting the stun on the minions. If he dies, he's not gonna proc with the War Master or anything to the boss, so it's not that much more time or less time. It's not so important. So now, normally, once the minions are dead, except now that you saw that the boss proc because Venomage hit him, normally they just stay dead, and then eventually they die with the poisons. But see, now both ads are controlled, and it's just about how many turns the boss is going to take and how fast can he die on his own.
Did you try running it without War Master on Venomage so that doesn't happen?
Nah, because sometimes it's not just the War Master, sometimes it's just the hit. It's just on the edge of 3%, and the hit just makes the difference.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
Fascinating.
The great thing here with Venomage is that he puts the poisons on not just the minions, but the boss. Like, whoever's there is getting poisons.
Yeah.
That's one of the struggles with Sacred Order is Aethar's the only poisoner, and he's not putting it on everyone, you know?
So I'm targeting the boss when the HP is quite low. I'm not so in risk. If there's one minion dead or another minion or one alive, I'm more or less able to tank the hit. I've seen maybe 60-something K, 70-something K, and normally Venomage can hold it, but it's like an 85-90% chance of surviving. I've had runs where I die, but in this case, less champions is more speed. I've tried with 5 champions and it goes over 5 minutes.
Wow. That's great. Well, I never thought I'd say a 4-minute run is really fast and impressive, but it's really fast and impressive. Can you make sure to take a screenshot of that? That's great. I'm loving the 3-man part of it, and really good job.
Because you said it before on Dragon, like, have you tried stun sets? Have you tried soloing? And then I was like, I'm gonna try everything now.
Yeah.
See if it works.
Deadwood sabotage.
Hey, what I'm here for. I get to play vicariously through you guys. This is the best part for me, right?
But you can see like no ascensions on anything. I tried to refresh the market. There was not a single lizard, not a single lizard that I actually used. So no ascensions or anything.
No blessings. It's kind of wild too. That's something I hadn't even thought of. Wow. Well, bravo, buddy. That was a really great run. All right. Well, look, you got 2 more attempts at this thing. I'm gonna go refresh my coffee. Why don't you get that second run started here and see if we can't beat that 4 minutes 12 seconds. Currently, first place.
Normally it's about a minute per wave. Depends on the luck. Now we got 2 stuns on these 2. But you see the damage is mainly every time they take a turn is like 5 or 6 poisons activating.
Yeah, that's really good. So like for the waves to go faster, it's pretty much just all about the stun set, I suppose. Like the poison is so consistent.
Yeah, I tried running them with the poison, and they put more poisons, but that's the thing, they take longer because they're not stunned. So they're taking a turn, they hit you, and it takes longer. Like this animation, every time he counterattacks is maybe 2 seconds. And if you have 2 of them constantly counterattacking, is seconds extra. Now he's done. Well, took it off.
How much resistance did you have on these champions, by the way? I just saw they're resisting everything the waves are doing. Is that just the waves?
I think it's about 300 and a bit.
Yeah, Yeah, because you only have 3. You could just stack resistance.
Yeah, I mean, but in this case, I didn't even go like resistant chest or anything too crazy. I just like maybe I think even lowering with the banner, lowering the accuracy banner and just putting resistance banner. That helped because that's the thing. I can solo it with both of them, but I needed, in that sense, higher HP and higher stats to do it.
So fascinating. I forgot we do need to check the player power of this team at some point here.
Like 230 something.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's very low because you only have 3 champions. So, oh man, what a cool! I mean, I love these like slow, like low man teams. I think those are really, really fun to be able to pull that off. It's a really nice flex that you did there. I feel like even if you don't win, you still won as a result. So congratulations, preemptively. Really nice.
Did you test it on unlimited just to see how fast you could get it?
Yeah, it's I think how long was this run? 4 minutes 19. I think it goes like 3 minutes. Have here a paper with everything written. 3:33 was my best run.
Nice.
3.5 minutes.
Man's taking notes, guys.
just basically to know like how dependent of RNG is this setup and what's the difference between one and the other. It was like 30 seconds, 40 seconds difference.
So I gotta ask, how much did coming in third in Dragon affect your motivation to be successful here?
I mean, I knew that these 2 guys weren't as big whales as the 2 from Dragon. So I knew, I didn't know, but I guess like, okay, I know I'm not gonna have any ascensions, any blessings on them anyway, so I kind of knew that Dragon was kind of lost, but I was confident on this one even if I didn't have any blessings.
I think this is great. I have to say, I think, you know, we all kind of, I mean, we've explained this before, right? How like, you know, Senda has some time restrictions, so like we knew vaguely what 2 different events you were going to be doing, and I love the fact that you're like, well, we're not gonna beat winning Dragon, so we're not gonna worry about that, but we have a chance in Ice Golem. Let's choose a faction that is going to be successful in Ice Golem. I think that's actually a really smart strategy. Very fascinating to see how it works, and I think it's working really well. I don't know
because Dragon doesn't have this handicap of if you hit too hard, you die. Golem does it. So Golem, I tried with Jarek, but it slows the setup. So I've tried different options, and at the end, it's all about poisons. If you want to go full damage to clear the waves, then you're in trouble against the boss.
A slightly slower run than the previous one. Oh, pretty good.
Yeah.
It'd be real. I would be really fascinated to see if Basilisk, he died, if it would make the run faster, but 424. I'm impressed, my friend.
We can try with only 2 of them. if you want to see it, like.
Whoa! I don't want to do any influence on your team. I want you to get your best run time possible. So if you feel like you can beat the 4 minutes 12 seconds you did already, we should go for it.
Are we here for the show or we're not here for the show?
The show is the competition. The show's the competition. So if you want to try something, you can. If you think it might get you a faster run, but
I mean, I don't think it's going to be faster just because Basilisk is just there for the stuns. But they can do it.
Look, you know what? Here's what we'll do. At the end of this, we'll do, when we're giving away some of the gems at the very end, we can let you do a bonus run. Okay?
Okay.
So let's get your 3 heats in, though.
Yeah. You have to rename the team to Why Not 2, though, when you do that.
Why Not 2?
That's the rule.
Yep.
Can I 2?
That's it. That's it.
I can put 2 and then 3 foods, 3 rares there just to level up.
Just make sure they're lizardmen.
Yeah.
Oh, are you I was curious about this because usually people will include that food so they can add some free speed, right? You get those masteries that improve your speed when people die and stuff. Is that? I'm curious how that actually made the run slower. Were they Was the enemy's just not getting enough? I mean, clearly with these stun sets, it's not like the enemy's getting a lot of attacks in. Was that kind of a big part of it, or like what was the reasoning behind that?
I don't know. I mean, I just put the gear on, I put the champions, I put all 5, and I mean these 3 and then 2 foods, and we're just getting a slower result by like 20 seconds or something. I think it's the first round that they get to take a turn before the enemies start hitting, because they're all single targets. So this kind of couple of turns is maybe 10, 20 seconds extra, which at the end is what makes the difference.
It adds up. That makes sense to me. A great squad here. Man, I'm so glad that I invited you to do this competition, Senda. This is great, man.
I mean, I'm normally not the guy for efficiency, but in this case, we have to optimize speed. I always prefer to have it on the safe side. That's why I like Golem, for example. I like the dungeon just because I like more support champions, a bit more tanky. I'm not also all over the damage in that sense. So I'm more confident with champions like Venom H and Aox than with, I don't know, playing it risky with all the other AoE champions like, I don't know, like putting full savage on.
I actually run my stuff that same way. Oh, he died.
Oh, yeah, he's dead. Yeah.
Yes, we get to see it. Okay. Is this the optimal team or no? Probably not. Probably died a little early. A little early for that, but we'll see.
Because now these ones are going to take all the full turns, and you're going to see all the animations. Maybe, I mean, if it gets a better end time, then
it's more.
See, 225, 227 is a bit slower.
Getting close. Close-ish. Really depends on like the boss at this point, right? Like with these two, that would be the idea, is just really stacking the poisons and allowing the boss to kill himself.
Yeah. Did you find that Aox passive made a big difference to the boss, where he can extend the poisons when he gets hit?
Not really, not that much, no.
I didn't even think about that. That's a really good point, though. Could potentially help keep him up at the very least, right?
I mean, I could try every time that Aox has a turn to target just the golem, so the A1 goes with the poison, but I will have to be constantly doing this.
Yeah.
Like, I get in the butt.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that's important about your team too is you get that Venom H has an accuracy aura, right?
Yeah.
So that can be very helpful for hitting the accuracy numbers that you need to. Although now there's lots of ways to do that.
He's not exactly worried about player power either, so maybe a little less important than for some builds. But yeah, that's definitely useful. Wow. So now we're starting to truck through these once we get the ads out of the way. There you go.
It's gonna end up being about the same. It looks like
it's gonna be about the same, isn't it?
Maybe a little faster.
One more boss turn and he's dead.
Yeah.
For 17. Yeah, a couple seconds.
It just looks cooler. There's less people involved.
Couple seconds lower, yeah.
Okay. 4 minutes 21 seconds. Right in between the other two runs. Not too shabby, my friend. Not too shabby.
Good job, man.
That was a great job. Yeah, really well done.
Really good.
Very smart thinking outside the box on that. I love that. That was great. All right. Oh, very cool. Let's go back to our typical 228,000. Why not 2? Get that renamed and fixed.
On the test server.
That's fantastic. Okay.
And then this out.
Yep. There you go. Fantastic.
They have maybe more chance of dying. We'll see.
We'll get our free bonus run in here right now, guys, so you can see how this works and how it looks. That's fantastic. That's perfect. We're gonna drop this in for the in between giveaway then while this is going on. So guys, if you want to get another 400 gems, we're gonna give that away right now. Go ahead, type in the chat !faction to go ahead and get some free gems. That's the idea here. We got 700 viewers, 300 likes. Let's get that count up. Get it a 50-50 kind of thing. Got 700 viewers, let's get 350 likes. Bump those numbers up. Really good job, guys. Really good job, everybody. I don't know why I'm telling the chat that. But you're doing great, guys. You are typing in the chat exceptionally well. I just want to say thank you so much for that.
They're all spelling faction correctly. It's
Faction.
Well done. Well done, group. Well done.
Maybe I'm having like a baby no sleep brain fart here, but so is the first action of those rares to put up their counterattack on wave 1?
Think so, yeah.
So does that mean that I was never letting those guys get a turn? Because I never had that counterattack up.
Or maybe you kill them faster?
That seems not possible because your time is so much faster than mine.
Oh, Venomage came real close to dying there, but
yeah.
lived.
That's why he cannot solo it. If he was red, I mean, if he was Force Affinity, maybe with weak hits.
Well, you know, the other thing too, MTG, there's a couple things that might be. You have a lockout skill on Aethar. You have the stun sets, obviously, but also Godseeker has the strip. So maybe it went up and just came down faster than you were recognizing. Like it wasn't staying up for you.
I don't think so, though. I'm running it in the background because I need to know.
Watch it back, yeah.
Test it, my friend. Test it.
This is definitely slower on the waves, right?
Yeah. That's all this about these animations.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why this thin line of if I put 4 champions, would it be more damage, or the time of them throwing the skills would slow me down? And I found like only Basilisk doing A1s with stand set is the perfect balance.
Did you think about turning off Venomage's A2 for the boss, since you don't really need the decreased defense and the decreased attack?
No, I think there was one try where I think I only let him do A2 A1, but I died that try for whatever reason, and I just like maybe it doesn't work.
That could be. All right, we got a winner here for you guys. ULX guys, congratulations. You just won 400 gems. Make sure to type in your number in the chat right now, and also make sure to put it as a comment in the video once it's afterwards. Now, currently, whenever you can put a comment on the video, do that too. Just make sure I get it so you don't miss out. ULXTMX, congratulations. This is not slow compared to the other ones.
I mean, Mausoleum Mage has been lucky, yeah.
Yeah. This is probably going to be the fastest one. Or is it? Ooh, maybe not. A lot of those poisons for one turn.
It's right in the same wheelhouse, though.
Why not 2? It works just as
Why
good.
not 2?
Why not 2?
Why not 2?
Yeah, it's gonna be 420.
Wow.
Nice number. Nice number, but not the one we're looking for.
Wow. That's your second fastest time, though. Interestingly enough.
Why not 2?
Why not 2?
Why not 2? There you go. All right. Well, hey, congratulations. Let's go back to our big view here. That was a heck of a run, Senda. Really great. I'm very impressed. So you can see we've got times up already. MTG with 6:39 right here. We've got Senda at 4:12 right there. So I'm very curious to see what our final contestant, Mr. RNG, Mr. Random, what is going to be the final run with Nub here. Senda, do you have any last thoughts about your team, about running Ice Golem that you want to share with us before we move on to the next contestant here?
I think it's as optimized as possible. Like I would like to see someone else do it or attempt it, because it's a tough action in that sense.
You guys heard it. Senda challenge you. Do it and do it faster. No, I think you're right.
Why not
I think
one? Why not one?
Right now, what?
That's the question.
It is. I mean, I have to say, it does seem surprisingly optimized. Really efficient kind of run team. I think you did a really great job with that. I'm definitely impressed. I know the chat is too. All right, Nub, how you feeling? Yep. Are you?
I'm super nervous right now. That's a tough act to follow. Yeah. There's always the regular nerves, but now there's like an extra level of nerves on top of it. So
I got you.
But I'm ready. I'm ready
in
to go.
there, so I'm sure you're still good.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, MTG, have you already determined that you don't think you're gonna have a chance here? I mean, failures is a thing, and you have of anybody.
Third place after all the testing I did, but you know, I mean, I wiped 2 out of the 3 times, and I never wiped in testing, so anything can happen on Ice Golem.
That's so crazy. Well, Nub has wiped in testing several times, so I think you're still in this game here to get that silver medal. All right, Nub, you're ready. Let's go ahead and let's do it. You ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's
Swapping
go.
over. Boom.
There we go.
All right, we're looking okay. All right, cool.
And
so
I have the background mostly disappeared. That's great.
There you go. I'm blue now.
No, go back to the green. The green was great. It like disappeared when you did the green.
Yeah, it goes translucent. Well, as you can see in the background, my first non-legendary is, of course, our base, the Stonehorn. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. All right, let's go in. This is the team. So first of all, we've got Creodan the Blue, who is obviously AoE freezes, which is going to be nice for the waves to try lock him down. And he is, you know, for an AoE crowd control champion, he's in, of course, your standard AoE crowd control build, which is really slow with as much damage in lethal as you can get. The funny thing is, I actually have really exceptionally bad attack ranks for Sylvan Watchers. So I said, you know what? I'm getting so many stats, like defensive stats from even my attack rings, that I might as well just get rid of it. So that's what I did. So he's got no ring, and he's got Helm Smasher, because why not, I guess, plus some other masteries that don't matter too much. He also, I did put a 3-star blessing on him literally like an hour before the stream. I didn't know I had it, and I just checked the shop and all of that, and I was just looking. I said, oh my god, I actually have a 3-star for Creodan. So I stuck it on, and it put me above the player power limit.
Wow.
So I had to then like figure out, I was in a panic. I was like, okay, wait, what gear can I take off that's not going to break the team? So that was a whole experience, but I think we're good. So he has Phantom Touch, which is a bit of extra damage, but
actually, out of curiosity, how much power does it add when you just add a blessing?
I think that blessing,
the blessing.
It's because the stats, I think, because he's getting 400 attack. I think it gave him about 4,000 power or something, or 5,000. Like, it was a pretty big chunk that made me kind of go, uh-oh, I thought it would be like 1,000, I'd be fine. And I was like, I'm a few thousand over now. This is not good.
Fantastic.
Next up, we've got White Dryadnia in Regen and Immortal, healing us up. She actually has Iron Will. I'm running 2 champions in the Iron Will blessing. It's 5% less damage when the boss triggers his counterattack. So I was like, why not, right? I couldn't think of anything else to put on that would be that impactful. So we're trying it out. And she has these masteries. So she is built with resistance. Actually, a little overkill on that. So we could have tweaked that a bit for player power. It's got a bit awkward at the end. But that's to hopefully there's a lot of randomness, so much in terms of who she decides to heal. So I was hoping that by giving her high resistance and regen set, that she would stop healing herself and heal other people. She still sometimes is like, I'm full health and the other person is hurt, you know, I'm gonna heal myself, why not? You know, like, okay, thanks for that, White Dryadnia. That's great. So
Appreciate
that was a fun level of randomness I didn't really expect. Next up, we've got Wrong Affinity, my Celiac Priest Orin. Well, guess what? Affinity Breaker, baby. Let's go.
Whoa.
Oh my god. So it's a 50-50 chance. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be trying to do. He doesn't have a banner on. And he also has the Iron Will to help survive because he's the bad affinity. He takes more damage, he can be crit and all that a lot. And he has these masteries. Then we've got Mistrider Dahi. He's coming in with Lethal and Cruel. These are his stats. Like, again, I think you were saying at MTG on Talia, like their base attack is low, so it's actually quite hard to crank it up. Like a blessing would have made a big difference there to get it 2-star. He's got, like, I could have probably dropped the crit rate given him attack, but I kind of ran out of time to tweak with the stuff. He's got Phantom Touch.
I don't even think I have Affinity Breaker to use if I wanted to on my account.
Dude, I only have like one set, man. I have the one set. He's got a lot of crit damage, that's all I can say.
Wow.
For someone that doesn't have any, he's got a lot of crit rate and crit damage, player power. And then we've got Lock Wayne coming in with a bit of gear. He's 1-star, level 50. One fun thing about him, actually, which I forgot about, but he can remove a random buff with his A2, so he can actually strip off that increased defense from the Seekers on wave 2.
Interesting.
To hopefully make us go faster. He's got no masteries.
That's the only reason why you bring him in?
Does he live? Well, sometimes. Sometimes he lives. So ultra 60 FPS, disable camera shake. All right, let's go. Fingers crossed. There's so much randomness in this run, so anything could happen. We're 298k player power for the presets. Dahi is just forced into number 1 and number 2 everywhere. Ornn is just forced number 1, number 2, and then on the boss, I really only care about this. It's quite annoying, right? His AoE poison is not 100%, which sucks. And then we got to get past the affinity issue with Affinity Breaker too. So that's where a massive level of randomness comes in. Sometimes he can put out loads of poison. You're like, Ornn, you're amazing. And then sometimes you're just sitting there and he just had no poisons for like a minute straight. And it's like, why did I pick this faction? What is happening? Nia doesn't do her protection on wave 1, but she does on wave 2 to try keep people alive a bit. I don't know if I actually need that, but I did it. And then on the boss, she doesn't do protection, and she's just going to be priority 1 on the cooldown reduction. Lock Wayne, he can open with his AoE on wave 1, but then we want him to not use it until wave 2. And then I turned off his A3 because I found, I don't know, just because he's really squishy, obviously. He doesn't quite get one shot if we're lucky, but that makes Nia heal him, which wastes the cooldown reduction. So I was like, maybe if I turn off his skill, she won't try to reduce his cooldowns. I don't know if it makes a difference, but I tried. It's for science, experimenting. Creodan
I like it.
Opens with the freeze, and we turn it off, and then he priority 1 into freeze on wave 2, where it kind of matters. And we ready to go?
So is the goal here to basically get through the waves and then have everybody die but Ornn and Nia? That's kind of the idea?
Yeah. So Nia's there to keep Ornn alive and to hopefully reduce his cooldowns, and he's to poison the boss and not weak it. That's the goal. But like weird stuff can happen. Like sometimes people, you'll see. Yeah, let's just go.
I love it. Let's go. Let's do it.
All right. Oh. So Dahi is the fastest. That's a little bit unlucky. We missed one of the decreased defenses, so that will slow things down. And again, you can see like the Affinity Breaker Ornn plus his thing. He got poison on 2 out of the 5 ads, and that's fairly typical, to be honest. But when he does blow up the poisons, he goes pretty hard. Obviously, the thing that can make this go way faster, Lockway, it's a little squishy, is when Dahi pops off of the extra turns, like his A1 has a chance for extra turns. Like there, she's reduced the cooldown on Lock Wayne, which is unfortunate. So that's a big element of luck. Do we freeze everybody? It's not 100% chance to freeze everyone. If we freeze them all, we lose some damage, but then, you know, Nia's gonna be healing the other guy and, Dahi and not Lock Wayne, which is gonna make it faster. Will Dahi proc his extra turns? Like, will Ornn? It's wonderful. Who will Nia heal? It's all wonderfully random, and that's what we love to see. Whoa, look at this.
Super excited about this.
Lock Wayne, this is pretty slow wave 1, unfortunately. We got fairly bad luck, but I call Lock Wayne Ultimate Death Knight because that's kind of his goal, is that everyone is quite squishy. So like, if Dahi dies, these waves are hella slow, you know? So here we go. Boom, look, he strips off the increased defense, and now we can actually start doing some pretty good damage. We got 1 extra turn there, it's not bad. Unfortunately, again, Nia has decided that she wants to reduce the cooldown on Lock Wayne. Little unlucky, but hey. But yeah, like perfect luck, you know, Dahi procs a bunch of extra turns. He comes into wave 2 with his moves ready to go, and then Nia's like, oh, you used your moves? I mean, you just reduce that cooldown right away, buddy. And he can pop off again. Oh, Lock Wayne, actually not going to die. We will now. He's Ultimate Death Knight, right? He's just redirecting their hits.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Let's distract him a little bit.
Nia's like, I'm going to reduce the freeze because, you know, You're almost through the wave. Let's reduce the damage by freezing these dudes. That's what we want to see. Thanks, Nia. All right, we're to the boss. 2 minutes. Honestly, 2 minutes is pretty good. Yeah, that's about average, actually, for this run. It can go faster, like a lot faster, but that's like super lucky. I say 2 minutes is fairly standard. It is possible for like people just die on the waves, and then it all goes horribly wrong. Totally can happen. Oh, we got, look at that. All the poisons from Ornn, turn 1. Good job, Ornn. Oh, no, they weren't supposed to die. Ooh. Only joking, they were supposed to die. It's all good. All right, Nia's reduced his cooldown, but he weak hit the boss, Affinity Breaker. What is this? 50% of the time it works 100% of the time.
The heal reduction is a killer. Oh, yeah, so you got like, the cleanse. Okay.
Yeah, Nia cleanses with her thing. So it's probably actually good if he gets it. I think the debuffs will tempt her to heal him more. So like right there, she healed herself. You were like full health, Nia. Why are you trolling me? What are you doing? Oh, unbelievable.
AI is so confusing.
Yeah, it is, right? So let's see. There we go. We got his AoE. We reset. He did 1 poison on the second AoE. He's like, I only need 1 this time. Let's go. His A1 has about like a 5% to place poison, it feels like. But yeah, like we're to the boss now, and this is basically how it goes. Again, like Senda had. You know, there's a ton of luck in terms of will we trigger the retaliation or not. I've got to deal with weak hits on top of that. The A1 sometimes poisons, sometimes doesn't. It's all wonderfully random. Right, there we got 1 in. Nia, maybe get a turn in. She should get the reset. Lovely.
This is like watching snails race.
Ornn, what is this? Come on, buddy. You've got Affinity Breaker. Come on,
turtle is going to be faster in the end? Oh, the suspense is killing me.
Come on, dude. Okay, don't weak hit. We need you to land this one, buddy. Come on. 1 poison. Where's the other one? Only 1.
Oh, no.
Go it. Weak hit. Ornn, what? Don't do me dirty, man. Seconds. Oh my god. On the poison. Weak hit. Now what? That would have been the kill, man. Ornn, you're griefing me. You're griefing. 50% of the time it works every time. No. Oh, it's down 422. Oh,
422.
Wow. Oh, it's so close, guys.
So close.
Darn. All right, we got 2 more attempts. 2 more attempts.
Well, this just got really this got exciting in a different way. I wasn't expecting that. All right.
All right. Let's just go again. Let's go again. Oh, I forgot to take a screenshot. I'll have to go back. Oh, come on. We want to see. Oh, she's reduced Dai's cooldown. That's good.
Too excited.
I got too excited. Yeah.
I know.
I blasted through. Instant click that it was too close, Deadwood. I couldn't resist.
I understand.
Yeah.
Senda, how you feeling? Are you getting nervous now?
I mean, I believe in that Plarium with this RNG is always going to do it the worst possible for the player. So
wow,
it's true.
So for those of you wondering, time to beat is 4 minutes 12 seconds. That's the time that Senda put up. So 4 minutes 12 seconds is the time to beat. Will Nub be able to do it? He's faster through wave 1 this time.
That was faster, 50 seconds through. Oh, Dahi opening up with the AoE, extra turn. He can also remove buffs with his A1, which is kind of nice. Freeze on everyone. Can we strip the buffs off everybody? Yeah, we can. Dahi's in again. One unfortunate thing is he only gets the extra turn on his A2 if he places decreased defense on everyone, I think, or enough people. So he doesn't get extra turns off that move, basically, when you get a little bit in, because decreased defense is too built up. But hey, look, Nia is cooperating. This is nice so far. Ultimate Death Knight doing his job there. He's going to go down. That's fine. Don't mind.
I love how you call him Ultimate Death Knight. Soaking up the attention over there.
He knows who he is. He knows his job.
Did you like him in that build, or was that mainly to stay under the player power cap?
Lockwane.
Yeah.
I actually had him with no gear initially, and then I added more to make him live wave 1, because he would die quite frequently on wave 1.
Yeah.
So I upped it just to get past that, basically.
Okay.
All right, 155 onto the boss. That's pretty decent. Slightly faster. But we need more than 5 seconds to beat Senda. Come on. Let's go.
I mean, normally Nia and Ornn, they manage to stay alive all the way through, or there's times that they die?
They should always live unless something goes horribly wrong. Now, this is one thing that can go horribly wrong as well, is because Dahi's the positive affinity, and like we can't really strip gear off of him. This could go really badly because he's alive, so he's gonna soak up the heals. So he could trigger the boss, and this could make Ornn die as well. Luckily, the Nia passive is gonna put out like decent healing anyway, so that will hopefully help Ornn survive. But I am a little bit worried that Ornn could die right now, and if Ornn dies, it's real bad. Now, luckily, when Dahi lives like this, he does kill the ads very fast, but this might ultimately slow us down. I'm not actually 100% sure.
Does Ornn have resistance?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think not enough player power to do it.
It's Nia that has the resistance, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we could get lucky and the poisons just skip his thing. Hey, we could get lucky. It's pretty lucky so far.
Extra turns.
Oh, there's one.
Oh,
we've lived. Good. Iron Will helping somewhat. All right.
Oh, all right. Wow.
Reset.
That was
weak hit,
huge.
Let's go. Come on, Ornn. Don't fail me. No weak hits, buddy. I believe in you. Nia, Ornn's got decreased accuracy. You really want to heal him. Let's go. She did it. Good. Excellent. I think that actually is something.
Every time.
Huh?
You would think she would do that every time.
Yeah,
Why is she so selfish?
She's selfish, man. These dryads. What are they like?
Unpredictable.
Yeah, I think she healed herself. Nuts. That's not good. But yeah, I think him actually getting debuffs helps with that. I think it does. Let's actually target the boss at this point. I think he's low enough. We need to go faster. We need to land some. We need to land some A1s here.
You've got like 10 seconds. Is he gonna do it? It was such a good
play
run.
some poison. There's some poisons. There's some poisons. Is it enough?
Oh,
it's not gonna be enough. The boss needs another turn.
Oh,
it's so close.
10, 11, 12. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it.
No.
Oh no. Oh no.
417. No.
417. Getting closer and closer.
All right. We need Dahi to die when he's supposed to die this time, and Ornn to get healed. Let's go. Last run. I forgot to take another screenshot. Oh my god.
Come on, man.
I'm too excited. Too excited.
Oh, buddy. Oh.
So close. It's so close. But there is obviously, as you can tell, these have actually been surprisingly consistent, these two runs, despite weird stuff happening on both of them. There's massive variance. Like sometimes the run goes like 5 or 6 minutes. It can go real bad. We'll see. Like I said, there's a chance they wipe as well, of course, on the boss. Very much so.
Do you have accuracy on White Dryad Nia?
No. But she lands it anyway. She just got some, so she lands it on the waves. I think even the boss, like, just the gear. It's hard to not have her with accuracy, as it were.
Makes sense.
Hey, Dahi popping off pretty decently there. It's what we like to see. Freeze on all of them this time. Okay. Remove the buffs. Oh, he missed one. Dahi tried to strip it. Didn't manage. But we appreciate the effort, Dahi. It's well done.
Good effort, buddy.
Yeah, good effort. All right, will she reset? There. Okay, this looks like a decent wave too as well. This is looking pretty solid, I'd say.
Very fast, 1 minute.
Yeah. So we've got some good luck, or we get some bad luck.
I love this so much. The RNG in this. I'm like, even if this goes like super fast, I'm still like, yeah, but could wipe in once we get to the boss. So never know.
Yeah. Well, hey, on this wave,
I was gonna say big shout out for everybody that is in chat right now. I know we've got Cold Brew, OddOneGaming, which was by a little bit. I think YST's been lurking, and Skratch is in here rooting you on. So I just want to say, thanks you guys for
140 to the boss, baby. Could this be the run? Is this the run?
Wow, what's your fastest time in testing, Nub?
I'll show you after this. You gotta see. Maybe this is the fastest. We'll find out. 140 is pretty good. Pretty good. Through the waves, that is. Got some poisons.
To the boss is good.
Or you got some poisons. Oh, Dahi is surviving. That might be fine. We were very close last time. We can maybe pull it off. It's maybe okay. What we don't want to happen is for Dahi to trigger retaliation from the boss when there's ads still up and we wipe, which would happen. All right, Dahi. He could be dead to the... Oh, no, this ad doesn't attack. Dahi survives another turn. We got some poisons. Boss is going to kill. Okay.
Oh, that worked out well.
Okay. That worked out well. Let's target the boss. What could possibly go wrong, right?
Oh, boy.
Oh, the two poisons. Oh my god. All right. Target the ad. Target the ad. Now I'm scared. We got, like we got big wave of poisons.
Flirting with disaster.
Flirting with disaster. We got it. That's how the game is played, man. All right, the ads are down. Let's go. Poisons. 2 poisons.
Oh, that was big.
Affinity breakers. Best set in the game. Come on. A1. Where's the poisons, man? Here we go. Here we go. No weak hit. One poison. All right. It's better than 0.
Oh, the RNG looking good.
Here we go. 1 poison on the A1. 1 weak hit. Orin. Let's go. 2 poisons. He's doing it. Orin's doing it. Can he do it?
Never seen someone so excited about poisons.
Yeah. 1 poison.
Oh,
can we get another point? There's another. That's a 3-turn poison on that A1. Orin wants to win, baby. He can smell it. Mushroom for dinner tonight. Let's go. Another poison.
You got this, man.
We got it.
Take a screenshot.
Oh, screenshot. Oh,
wow. 3 minutes, 30 seconds. That is massive win right there, buddy.
Yeah, my fastest time was, hang on, let me show you guys, was actually 3 minutes 23 was the fastest I got. Yeah, so, but as you saw, most of them were typically around 4 minutes to like 4:20. And then a few times it failed, a few times it went 5 or 6 minutes. Only one time it went like below Senda. So that was rather lucky to come through at the end.
And with the changing the settings, what's the difference between both teams?
Changing which settings, sorry?
Like the putting it unlimited and unlimited FPS.
I never actually tried unlimited, to be honest, so I've no clue. No clue. No, I was just running 60 FPS the whole time. Yeah, so, yep, there we go.
Wow, very good job. I'm shocked at that result. I was not expecting that.
I said it, the Plarium's RNG always goes against me. Always goes against me.
You know what's funny about that?
I don't want to hear it.
You said when you said it always goes the worst against the player, I was thinking like, oh, he has a chance. It's going to go badly against Nub. He meant himself. He meant himself always.
Yeah, always.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Well, hey, Nub, really great job. Really great job. Yeah, let's go. Let's see the leaderboard, shall we?
Flip back.
All right, we are back. As you guys can see, we've got here with a gold rating. If everybody's heads kind of shrink a little bit here. Let's see if I can do that. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Thank you guys for ducking. You can see Nub Raids taking first place with a time of 3 minutes 30 seconds. Senda coming in second at 4 minutes 12, and MTGJedi getting the bronze medal at 6 minutes 39 seconds. I'm just gonna speak for myself. I think everybody did a great job here. Look, I know MTG, you may not have had the best time, but you did complete it, which is the main task in these events. So that's a huge come up considering you had 2 wipes. You gave us a lot. I mean, as far as entertainment value, a lot of drama to start with. I love that. And you know, obviously I think surprisingly, I don't think anybody's really expected it going into this, but Sacred Order is a really hard faction for this dungeon in particular. So you know, I think you did a really good job considering that. Obviously Senda put together a phenomenal team, 3 champions. I mean, what else? You know, why not 3? Why not 2?
Why not 2?
You know, it's, I mean, I think that's the name of your next video series is like, why not 2? Why not 1? Why not 3? And just kind of build on that. I definitely want to see that. But you know, really great job with that. I thought it was, I think, very smart, and also by far the most consistent out of all these teams. And then of course Nub, you know, putting together the RNG dream team here, and getting fortunate, you know, a little redemption, RNG redemption from your last Hydra attempt, right?
Right.
You know, or last faction games Hydra attempt.
Last faction games, yeah.
And coming in with a really good time, 3 minutes 30 seconds. So that's great, guys. Just congratulations, everybody. That was really well done. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, your guys' opinions on this. But first, before we get into that, I do want to do some more giveaways. We got, I believe, 2 more giveaways to finish up here. So we're going to go ahead and get that going right now. So let's go ahead and start another one of those. Remember to type in !faction, get 400 gems. And I think we have one more after this as well. So got some options. But yeah, guys, how did you feel about that? What was your what's your feeling after it's all said and done? Would you have picked a different faction? Would you tried a different approach after seeing your competitors? What's your thinking on this, guys?
I think I would have loved to do Spider with Sacred Order. Like was the original plan. I think that would have gone quite a bit better. With the scheduling, I think that's one tactical thing that we need to think about next time is, you know, when can each of the creators do the events, and then match up a faction a little bit better. I'm curious what would have happened if I went with another faction, but you know, there's only so much you can do when you're locked into a faction. So
I think that's a really good point. Scheduling for I know the viewers don't understand how impactful that is, but I know you guys do. But it's probably the most impactful part of all of this is who can compete when. I think that has an incredibly outside influence on the results of these competitions. So I fully get that. And yeah, you got hurt by that. You know, having, you know, MTG has a new baby, like he's got work, like there's a lot of things kind of factoring into his time. So, you know, just the fact that you take the time to do this is already phenomenal. But obviously, you know, the impact's what you can do when you have to do it. So that's a big issue. I don't know, Nub, Senda, do you guys have any thoughts at all?
I mean, I'm super happy with my faction, honestly. Ornn, MVP, Affinity Breaker, works 100% of the time. Great. I think it would be fun maybe next time even to just like roll the dice and assign factions randomly too. That could be kind of cool. Just be like, oh, I got the worst faction, my least favorite faction, and I've got to try do something. That could be a fun idea.
Yeah,
that could be very interesting. Okay. Taking notes for next time. Absolutely.
What if we randomly assign the factions and randomly assign what area of the game they have to fight?
Yeah, that. You're a sadist.
That's interesting.
I just want to spread the joy from my Sacred Order experience.
Yeah, that's what I heard for sure. Yeah, we could have a fun RNG experience. I think that's definitely something I could arrange for the next faction games. Actually, I'm having ideas about that already. Thank you guys. That was a great suggestion. I do want to hear from Senda if you have any last thoughts, but before we do that, I just want to let you guys know the winner from that last one giveaway is Darren Emery. Congratulations, you got 400 gems. Leave your UM number in the chat right now, and if you leave it in a comment on the video just to make sure I get it to you. I have gotten everybody else's so far, which is great, but we're gonna do another one of these. We got one last one to give away, I believe. Let me just make sure I haven't given away too many for today. Nope, got all 4 out there. There's the last one we're gonna give away here, 400 gems. You guys know what to do. ! Faction, type it down below. There you go. Senda, your thoughts on the competition itself, or you know, any of the teams, or do you prefer a different?
I think it couldn't have gone better. Like I think Nub's team kept the excitement until the very last run. We were all very hyped with the why not 3, why not 2, and almost until the last moment, the last run. So I was really well played, and congratulations to the winner.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I mean, the biggest winner in all of this was definitely me, because I could not have scripted this any better. You know, are they going to survive or aren't they? Oh, we're going to go with 3 people. Oh, the RNG level is like right there on the edge. Is going to beat the time or not? It was awesome to watch. This is like easily one of my least favorite factions or events. My least favorite dungeons. I'm sorry, that's the least favorite dungeons to do. One of my favorite events to watch, though. And I think it's a lot of credit to go to you guys for coming up with some creative ways, some different approaches to taking this down. It's really interesting. I think some takeaways, like as an audience member, if I'm like new to the game or not familiar with Ice Golem, a couple of things that I could take away when I'm trying to build my team is, deal with the waves is a pain in the butt, and it becomes complicated because waves take a lot of AoE damage. The boss takes a lot of single target damage, or one might say avoiding AoE damage is a better way to phrase it, right? Obviously, every single one of you focused on using poisons and HP burn for the boss, which is a real, that's kind of one of the ways we do this, is dealing with passive damage. And you'll notice like pretty much everybody was like, we can have people die, that's okay, and we'll maybe make the run a little bit faster and easier, which I think is really interesting. Do you guys have any other like just general Ice Golem tips that maybe I skipped over right here? But that was kind of my big takeaway, which is, you know, a lot of it we already know, but it's always nice to get a reinforcement of those, you know, guidelines.
I think one of the things that none of our factions really had that would be helpful is the shields. If you're taking hits from the waves or the boss and you have a shield champion, that can be really helpful. And that Guardian set is normally why my team was surviving. So I don't want to underplay that. That was a crucial part of my team, was the Guardian set, to just even make the run viable, you know.
Absolutely. Can you expound a little bit on like the shield set and its importance to surviving the boss and stuff?
So I don't really know what you want me to say about that, but I don't think that the when the boss is ignoring your defense, I think it gets calculated a different way, right? The going off of the shield than your defense.
Well, my understanding is it's like I think is it a max HP hit? I can't remember if it's a max HP hit or just ignores your defense with that. But you know, that shield obviously just adds, it's just flat HP to suck up that damage, you know, if nothing else. I think it is a max HP hit, and if that's the case, I could be wrong about that. Because I think higher HP champions tend to survive longer with that. But then, you know, for other content, if you have a max HP hit coming, it doesn't calculate the shield in, so it's like adding, you know, makes it hit lighter than it should actually. But yeah, I think that's a huge part because of that ignoring defense from the boss at the end there. I don't know, Nub or Senda, did you have any other little tidbits to add in there? By the way, sorry for that poor setup, MTG. I didn't mean to like serve up this ball like way outside the zone for it to hit. But
no worries.
I mean, I did try shield sets on Jarek with the bolster set. It was great, but the survivability, at least with the lizards, wasn't a big problem. It just made it slower because Jarek doesn't really bring anything that the others ones don't. Decrease attack, they both Venom H and the other don't do it. So, I mean, you had Romero put shields.
I know. I tested him a bunch in the team with like. Actually, I had Romero and Savage, and he actually did really decent damage. But the problem is, how do you fit in all of the things that you need? Because each one is bringing such narrow things that you need. And so I couldn't find a way to fit them all in. Like if I had a 6th champion, he would go in there for sure. But like I tried Juliana and Romero in place of Talia and Mordecai, so that you're still getting the HP burns and some poisons. Maybe there was an iteration, like some combination that I could have fit Romero in there, but the real damage from his kit comes from that A4, and you only get that if Juliana's in the team. Otherwise, he's just defensive, and he wasn't defensive enough that I could take Godseeker out.
I think that's the biggest takeaway with, you know, limiting the champions that we can use, no legendaries, is the lack of range of skills, right? Or, you know, the lower the rarity, the less abilities these champions have, which is like the biggest thing. Epics can hit extremely hard, just like, you know, legendaries can. They can, you know, do incredible debuffs just like legendaries can, but the biggest issue is they can't do more things, right? And we were even seeing that with these mythical champions having a whole extra set of skills, right? The higher level rarity, more abilities, the more possible things they can do. And you know, I think with this, it kind of compounds a little bit, because we're like, okay, I need a lot of things for Ice Golem specifically, right? I think we're going to see this when we get the Fire Knight as well. Like, I need all these different things. How do I get them? Without legendaries available, it becomes a lot harder to do that.
Is that the next event to hype that up, Deadwood?
I think it is the next setup. Is Fire Knight? If I'm mistaken.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you. I don't know the schedule.
No problem. We and then we have a rematch next weekend, right?
No, I'm doing Fire Knight. No, I'm doing Fire Knight.
Oh, you're doing Fire Knight.
Yeah. So I gotta go cool down after this. I'm sweating, boys. I need to wash down and come back to the Fire Knight collab. Oh man.
Oh man. All right, guys. Well, hey, look, I just want to say big thanks to you guys. Real quick, our last winner was Teddy Breeze. Congratulations for getting those 400 gems. I did get your number, so you should be all set there. I still need a number from Darren Emery. So let me get that. And then I believe one of the first people, I didn't get your full number, so make sure to drop that in for me. If you haven't already, just leave it as a comment on the video. Is probably going to be the best way at this point, because the cat tends to disappear, so I can't find everything. Anyway, guys, great job. I just want to say great job. Thank you. Let's give everybody, if you can give me in the chat, can you give me an emote? I need all the emotes you guys can come up with as a quick goodbye. Congratulations, thank you, and goodbye to Mr. Senda. This was his final event. He participated both in Dragon and Ice Golem, and I think did great in both. So especially with, I would say we'd all agree, one of the more difficult factions to use in Lizardmen. So I thought you did a great job. Super happy to have you here. So guys, drop me some emotes. Do it in the chat right now and drop them all in there, just as a little show a little love to Mr. Senda here for being a part of all this. And with all these creators, I do have their links to their YouTube channels in the description and generally pinned comment of all these videos. So you can always find them. You can always check them out. I highly recommend you go subscribe to their channels. You follow what they do, hit those notification bells so you know when the next one's out. Look at all that love, Senda. All that love just for you, man. Great job.
I've just seen all the mushrooms from Nub, just rubbing it in the face. Seen it.
I was queuing it as soon as Deadwood said it. I was like, I know what must be done. Queuing it up.
All the mushrooms. I love it. Yeah, really great job, guys. Super creative. This was a really creative group of approaches. So I'm just, as always, when I do these things, I'm always impressed with the ability you guys bring to the table. So even when you talk yourselves down or say, oh, I don't have the gear, I don't have the champs, you guys always end up pulling something out of your hat, which I think is both a testament to you, but also kind of a testament to the game. It has those options available to us, which I think is one of the reasons why we're all still playing. I should make sure to give a thank you to Banana Jam and Plarium too for giving us those gems to give away to you guys. I think that's really awesome, and it's always nice to be able to give stuff back to you guys. But we're gonna be doing that every one of these events. 2,000 gems going out to you guys just for being here, for subscribing and watching. We'll have a collab for Fire Night out tomorrow. We're gonna go record that in a little bit here. We're gonna have the Fire Night event, should be on Tuesday, so make sure to check that out. They're always at 5 p.m. UTC. You can find all this, you can find the full schedule, you can find the full results of everything on my website, DeadwoodJedi.com. We have a full events page for this on the front page, so you can easily find it and follow everything. You can find all these people's social stuff on there as well. But yeah, congratulations again to Nub Raids for the gold medal victory on this, Senda for coming in silver, and MTGJedi pulling it with the bronze award there. Really great job, everybody. Thank you guys for being here, being a part of this. You guys got any last things you want to say before we cut out, piece out of this?
Go test some Hydra.
I just want to say thanks to you for organizing.
I gotta redeem myself in Hydra.
Absolutely. Senda, you want to give a quick goodbye to everybody out there?
Thank you. Thank your community. Thank these two guys here, and well, thank all the other content creators that are participating in this. It's been such a great fun for being the first time that in this kind of events, especially in a language that is not mine. So thanks a lot, and it's been great fun. I'm looking forward for the next.
Yeah, I said it earlier, but I meant it. I'm really happy you were able to be a part of this. It was a lot of fun, getting to hang out with you for the first time. And you've been fantastic during all this, especially because schedules aren't easy. And you've really gone out of your way to make sure it happens. Same to both of you guys, Nub and MTG and every other competitor. Big shout out to them. I cannot do this without you guys being a part of it. So big thanks. All right, we're gonna get off the circle jerk here. Everybody's really happy with each other. We all love each other. It's all great. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. We got these events every other day. There's an event, and the other day is going to be a collab. So we got lots of stuff coming out. That's all we got. Till next we meet, the Deadwood Jedi.